In this slidecast, we're going to look at the quality management systems. What we're looking at here is the systems that a company adopts to be able to implement their quality system. How does the company as a whole achieve quality in all of the projects that it does? So the way that most companies make sure that they achieve quality in what they do is by having a quality management system, and that's usually documented in a quality management plan. And what that plan sets out is the organizational structure, procedures, processes and resources needed to implement quality. Looking at the structure, it's who's responsible at the top for making sure that the quality system is enacted, is done, that the quality procedures are done. Procedures and processes, what are the things we do to make sure that we achieve quality in what we do? And the resources, who are the people that are responsible? The company needs to allow for resources. Resources in this case for an engineering company are the people that do the quality management. So you might have a quality manager, for example. Below him there might be foremen, site foremen, who also do quality management. So allocating time for these people to do their quality responsibilities as well as doing their other work. So the objectives of a quality management system are twofold. First of all, get it right first time. If you do the job right the first time, then you're going to do it quicker and you're going to do it cheaper. For example, if you're laying a pipeline and you don't do it properly, then it's going to be dug up and done again. Now that's going to cost you as a contractor a lot of money. So you want to put it in and make sure that it's to the right line and level and that you're using the right materials and those sort of things when it happens. Likewise, if you're a consultant, you're doing a design, you produce a design and it's not what the client asked for, he's going to ask you to do it again, and you're probably going to have to do it at your expense, once again costing lots of money. So rework is doing stuff again, and we don't want to do that. So the idea of a quality system is that you're checking that you're doing it right as you go. The second thing is that you need to demonstrate the work was done right. You document evidence of inspections, tests and approvals. In the case of a construction project, all of that stuff goes together to demonstrate to the engineer that the project is complete. Some clients will also ask for documentation to demonstrate that the quality has been achieved, that you have actually built what they asked for as they asked for it, as they specified it, and they'll ask for documentation. And so it's not just good enough saying yes, we did it okay. You need to provide the documented evidence. That will be written down notes from when you did an inspection. It'll be the notes that you take from a test. It will be signed approvals from clients or from the engineer or whatever that is. So the elements of a quality management system: organizational structure. So this would be in the company, who's in charge in the company for making sure quality happens. So for example, if you're looking at costing, the costing system, the accountant's in charge of doing the financial management, stuff like that. So who's in charge of doing your quality management system? In a lot of big companies you'll find that they have a person who's the quality manager, and that person is in charge of making sure the quality systems are produced, that they're implemented, and that they are what is required to do the job. Who's responsible for what? So you'll have a quality manager in the higher management who's responsible for making sure the quality system happens. But down below him, when they're working on site, who's responsible for the on-site quality management? The methods, how we're going to achieve it. In a company quality management system, we're talking about when we start a project. If we're talking about a construction project company, when we start the project, we are going to set up the quality plan. The person that's going to do this is going to be the site supervisor. So that's sort of saying how it's going to be done. The quality plan will be checked by the quality manager, and so on. Data management: what data are you going to collect, how are you going to keep it? So remember, one of the important things about a quality system is that you document that you've done the checks, and you have it in some way that it can be checked by someone else. The processes, what are you going to be doing to achieve the quality? The resources, what people are required to do it. So the resources might be that there's a quality manager. Resources might be the site supervisor becomes the on-site quality manager, and so on. Customer focus, how are we going to measure that we've actually achieved quality? Are we going to sort of go to the client afterwards and say, happy with the job? Or are you actually going to get them to fill in a form? Or are you going to do an in-depth research on whether they're happy or not? If they're not happy about one component or another, what's the problem? So, are you happy with the project? Is probably not enough. You need to drill into it and make sure that there was absolutely nothing that was a problem. Continuous improvement. If you identify something's wrong, if the pipe is, if you identify something's wrong, what are you going to do about it? You're obviously going to fix it. What are you going to do to make sure that it doesn't happen again? So that's what continuous improvement's all about. If there's a problem, you identify it, and you fix it, but then you have to make sure it doesn't happen again. So how do you learn your lessons? For example, if you're laying a pipeline and it's not laid to the right depth, and then you have to dig it all up and relay it. Now it's a bit of a disaster, but you want to take a learning lesson away from that. So you say, why did this happen? It might be that the surveyor mucked up, or the foreman didn't know how to do surveying, or something like that. You find out what happened, and then you put systems in place. So you'll say the foreman have to go through a survey set out course or something like that before they're allowed to set out pipelines. So you'll put systems in place within your company to make sure that any errors don't happen again. Product quality. What are your objectives? Are you trying to be the top end product? Are you trying to build the best, highest quality, highest standard buildings in Auckland, or do you just want to provide value for money for your clients? How do you measure that? How do you determine whether you're actually achieving quality? And what are you going to do if the product does not meet the quality? Lower level quality management systems, those are ideally all the things that should be in a quality management system, but smaller companies don't have all of these things. For example, they won't have a quality manager. It'll just be a person whose responsibility, one of their responsibilities is quality. So smaller companies, it might not be this detailed.